Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit since I made a video, but finally things have settled down, so we're back. So today on the channel we have another ELO album, a little bit of a later one, 1980s era, 81. So this was released on the 31st of July 1981 and was recorded earlier that year. The genre of this is synth pop, prog rock, and new wave. The length is about 43 minutes and 38 seconds, and of course, Jeff Lynne produced this album himself. This is the 9th studio album released by the English rock band Electric Light Orchestra, and unlike ELO's previous albums, this is actually a concept album about a man from the 1980s who's taken to the year 2095. This album spawned 5 singles: Hold On Tight, Twilight, Take It to the Moon, Rain is Falling, and The Way Life is Meant to Be. This album actually marks quite a big shift in their sound. They focus more on synths and electronic noises over their usual strings and orchestra, and this album is considered to be one of their most influential. So here's the concept. I pulled this straight off of Wikipedia because I did not really have a way to condense this down, so bear with me while I read this off my script. So in 1981, a man drifts into a state of twilight where he appears to enter the year 2095, meets a gynoid, and reflects on the 1980s, back when things were so uncomplicated. Walking down the same street from 100 years before, he is dismayed by the plastic, flowers, and ivory towers which have grown on top of it. As he remains in this future period, he looks down his window depressed, watching the world go by. He attempts to send a letter from the future in the form of a dream to his girlfriend in the past, but fails. So, kind of a sad kind of story. Jeff Lynne did comment on this when asked if this whole plot was a dream for the man, and Jeff doesn't really know himself. It just came to him one day, and he doesn't really have the answer either. So upon this album's release, it went straight to #1 in the UK charts and stayed there for 2 weeks. However, some critics were slightly critical of ELO's shift to a more synth-heavy sound. They chalked it up to basically, if they weren't careful, they'd become synth-pop sellouts like most of the other bands of the day, like Yes. Although this album was widely reviewed positively, it did not really end up selling all that well. It only went gold here in the States, which is 500,000 copies, and went 3x platinum in the UK, which is different. So their platinum is 100,000, so I think it only sold 300,000 in the UK. So despite the critical acclaim this got and the positive reviews, this album was not a big seller, unlike their previous albums that they've released. So what are my thoughts on this album? I think that this is a very influential album. The tonal shift, and the soundscape that they use is very different from their previous albums. Especially something like Out of the Blue, which is very orchestra heavy, and it's like orchestra and rock band. This is like rock band synth. A lot of synth stuff. There are some strings in here. However, the strings have been modified. They've been put through a synth. They've been put through effects and stuff like that. So it's not the pure orchestra vibe that you're getting from Out of the Blue, Discovery, stuff like that. Do I like this album? Yes, this is a very, very, very good album. I suggest you listen to it because it is ELO charm with 80s synth. It works surprisingly well considering the cheek we turn to 80s synth music now. It is very tastefully done. It still has that Jeff Lynne ELO charm to it. And I believe this is a very, very well put together album. The concept for it is a little out there. However, I do very much enjoy it in that aspect. So without further ado, let's throw this on the desk and see what my copy looks like. And here we have my copy, specifically, of ELO Time. So, as you can tell, we got some ring rash. As always, a little bit here in the center, near the label, where the label be on the actual disc itself.
This sleeve is in really bad condition. It's, got seam split up at the top. Top and bottom are fine, but it's got a seam split. As you tell, it's a bit of a later album, so we do have a barcode on there. So this might have been a big box album. At the time, they would have printed them like this. Regular record stores would have had these, but most of the time they wouldn't have even used them. They would have just cellophaned them up and threw a price sticker on and would have done it the old-fashioned way. But this could have come from a big box like Walmart or a big record retailer back in the day. Here we have a couple credits and the track listing. So we have all music and lyrics by Jeff Lynne, produced by Jeff Lynne solely. And we have the track listing, Prologue, Twilight, Yours Truly, 2095, Ticket to the Moon, The Way Life's Meant to Be, Another Heart Breaks, Rain is Falling, From the End of the World, The Lights Go Down, Here's the News, 21st Century Man, Hold On Tight, and Epilogue. So that's the sleeve. We pull out the jacket. And obviously, like most ELO record sleeves, it's stylized and it's fancy. This one is specific to time. So on here we have all the lyrics. We have a lyric sheet on the record sleeve and a little portrait of the band. So we have Richard Tandy on piano, electric piano, synthesizer, and guitar. We have Jeff Lynne on lead vocals, backing vocals, electric and acoustic guitars, piano, and synth. We have Bev Bevan on drums and percussion, and Kelly G on bass guitar and backing vocals. And then we have the rest of the credits down here, which I'm not going to read them all off. Pulling my disc out, you will see that it is not in very good condition. It is extremely dirty, and that is because I have yet to clean it. I've listened to this only maybe 2 times on the Crosley, and forgot about it. I have not cleaned this record whatsoever, and it really, really shows. So, yep, I'm going to have to clean this record with my special solution, which I may make a video about, because I do mix my own record cleaning solution. Just all household cleaning products, no harsh chemicals, no nothing like that. But yeah, I might make a video on that. But after all, this is just a record video and a record review, and I think you guys should go check this album out. It's a very, very good album. And that's about all I have. So, this has once again been RNC Music, and I am out.